Welcome to NAI 500's CEO interview series, where we interview the CEOs of the top small cap companies in the market today. Today we're interviewing Bradley Moore, CEO of Global Cannabis Applications Corp, listed on the CSE under APP. Global Cannabis Applications Corp, or GCAC, is focused on providing a blockchain-enabled seed-to-sale technology solution for the cannabis industry. In today's interview, we cover how the company is moving to a revenue stage with its most recent contracts in Q1 2021. We also cover how the company is planning to break through the Canadian and US markets. We also cover how the company is marketing itself to the new wave of retail investors through its new and unique GCAC Uniswap cryptocurrency. Please like our video and subscribe to our channel to help us get more cutting-edge stock coverage to the market. Hi, Brad. How are you doing?
Good, Philip. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So we saw GCAC hit the ground running in Q1 2021 with contracts in Israel and Malta. So tell us what those deals mean to the company and how do you expect them to impact your bottom line?
Well, so there's a couple things. Obviously, revenue is the key of any business, right? And as you know, I think a key argument about the revenue for us, it means we're not a minimum viable product. We're not a startup anymore. We're an actual working business. So that's the most important thing. When you take that into what this 1% program that we're working on Uniswap, that adds a lot of value into it too. So it's just legitimizes the business. And Malta's huge. Like next year, Malta will be huge. It's like, it lands. It's half of our next year's not all unto itself, So that's a great way to start 2021.
You also press released in February that GCAC is now in the process to become a Health Canada medical sales license holder under the Cannabis Act. How is obtaining this license going to impact your business moving forward?
Well, so, one of the things we've always talked about is that there's disparaging rules all around the world. The way it works in Israel is not the way it works in Europe. It's not the way it works in Canada. And everybody's got this a different approach to it. And as I've always said, it's because it's a data problem, right? It's not a regulatory problem, it's a data problem. Lack of data, obviously why we built the Fixie. So we looked at the framework in Canada and we realized how, growers have a direct line to medical cannabis patients. And so as in, putting ourselves in the middle through that non-possession selling license, which we're full into the application process, all the data information has been submitted. What we're going to do is we're going to spend this next little while educating consumers, Canadian medical cannabis patients and consumers about why they shouldn't be putting something in their body unless it's attached to an Fixie QR code, right? And so when we get that license, those growers aren't going to get access to those very well-educated consumers now, because those consumers are going to only want products that actually prove they are what they say using a Fixie. So for us, we'll create some great revenue and uplift, but most importantly, we're going to use this as an opportunity to actually, educate and inform Canadian medical cannabis patients.
In the US as well, with the Biden administration providing stability in the US cannabis politics, do you see room for GCAC to expand into the large US markets?
Yeah, 100%. So there's a couple of things we've got to look at there. And I'm very cognizant of the whole model and about how you purchase medical cannabis and the definition and all these things we've always talked about. So let's break it down. You don't even have to look at it state by state level. Let's just look at cannabis. So first of all, it's a Schedule I drug, can't pass state lines. So that means you have to have a cultivator inside working under rules set by the state legislature. So that's a huge opportunity. Allows us to take it on a bite-sized pieces where more states are more open to understanding a better way to do things. That's where we come in. I think the other thing is too, and a lot of people have heard me say this, if they don't use a single payer system like we do in Canada, so how are you going to cover somebody's prescription under their medical plans or benefits and get yourself into a situation that maybe they take something that's not properly labeled or isn't what it is, or there's not enough data and they have an adverse effect and now they can't work? How do you cover that? You think about premiums on a multi-payer system, and I think that's really kind of interesting. And we saw the net effect of that, of the Ontario Supreme Court, making Manulife have to cover somebody's medical cannabis in Ontario, right? Their medical cannabis prescriptions. So think about that in the United States on a much more massive scale, right? And that problem it presents. As a data company, as a technology company, we provide the answers to that. It's very simple. Throw your stuff on our system, attest to what it is, what you say it is, right? And we can help you sell more and overcome regulatory and legal hurdles.
So we've also seen GCAC described as potentially a data play, meaning that the data that you collect from your clients can provide significant upside value to your investors. So what kind of data are you storing, and who would potentially be interested in that data?
You know, I was talking about this with the CEO of Abbey Technologies the other. We're a blockchain company with a cannabis problem, okay? And so what does that mean? It means there's a cultivator and a consumer. We figured out how to use the blockchain to actually create a series of data points all the way around on a per gram consumption basis. That means for every gram growing, there's a consumption, and all those steps are recorded, all the way from the genetics, the testing, the time the lights went on, the pH of the water. If you grow to a GMP standard or GACP standard they use over in Europe, you should attest to that, because that means you're doing it all right. And then we're going to attach a consumer. Every package is going to actually have that histogram, or that through the attestation process on the blockchain. Somebody can see, then they can download the consumer version of the app and put their experience. So once you start to layer all those in, you're going to get, like, our objective with 128 million grams over 2 years, that's over 400,000 individual unique experiences. That's incredible. Like, that's incredible. And so you think about that data and think about them working that through machine learning to get the goal of the average efficacy. So in one of my, I believe it was in January, my press release with Alchemia about the data was they have a host of companies just chasing after efficacy data. And I'm talking about hedge funds, I'm talking about pharmaceutical companies, I'm talking about some big names that I can't get into, but they all need it. We're going to go out and do that heavy lifting. We're building a system that allows for full scalability, and at the end of it, to come up with data sets that will revolutionize cannabis, and I think other things too. You know, could be psychedelics, could be just a lot of stuff. But the process that we've developed, as described in my patent application, you know, that seed to seed lays all that out. Data is at the root of it. That's using the blockchain to create value for sales, and also, as again, for regulators, which ends up driving more sales down the road.
Speaking of the blockchain, we saw that you announced a very innovative marketing initiative targeting millennials in the crypto market with the Uniswap GCAC marketing token. Why did you decide to target this segment of the investors with this campaign?
Well, like, you know, part of it is just because they're so comfortable with both products, right? They're comfortable with cannabis, they're comfortable with medical cannabis, and they're also comfortable with crypto. You know, like an old guy like me, you know, I have to kind of get talked into things. Like I said, I'll go to what I know first, but they are going to what they know. So it's crazy that we're not talking out and reaching them and explaining it. But I think there's something more important, more key to that, right, than it just being about marketing. And it's not about the asset on the books. I mean, Tesla showed we can do that with Bitcoin. That was an easy one. I think what's really key is this. Look, blockchain came from the facilitation to facilitate cryptocurrencies, correct? And once you understand that, then you're all like, okay, what did that do? Well, it removed the need for the bank. So what did it really do? It didn't give regulators anything to regulate. It took the one thing they were regulating out of the equation. That's crazy. That's like why we see the conflicts all the time. But the point around it is, it's still a self-regulating market, and it doesn't mean it's any less secure. It doesn't mean it's any less this. But for a government, it doesn't give them anything to work with. Now, take my business. It's built on Ethereum. It's a working Ethereum blockchain. It's a model of Ethereum. So whereas you see crypto working through Uniswap, correct? You see the Ethereum cryptocurrency working. So that's a financial model. Ours is a data model of blockchain. It's a working. So we tied those two together. We paired through this model with Abby, CrossFi, just phenomenal. Google CrossFi, cryptocurrencies, you'll find it, or come to me and ask me directly, and you'll see how it works. Now we're paired with Ethereum, and this 1% buyback, that's like saying if the company is not doing well, you're going to see the numbers by the amount of our own tokens we buy back, those branded tokens, GCA branded tokens. If we're overachieving, you've got a real company that you're buying tokens for. It's real, it's valid. It's like buying a stock that's performing well in its financials. We're actually showing. That's super innovative. That's incredibly innovative. And once again, it just shows that, that blockchain is not just a financial tool, right? It's a working tool.
So we're very glad to see that GCAC is getting the market awareness and market acceptance with the overall cannabis industry. And I know that you're presenting sometime with Prohibition Partners. Can you give me some background about that?
Yeah, sure. It's exciting because it's Prohibition Partners. And I think, if you understand cannabis in that segment, you get the opportunity to participate, to engage with the leaders in the cannabis industry. I couldn't ask for a better platform. We're going to be everywhere with them, and we're going to be out strong. We're going to be like up front. I'm going to be sitting in doing a lot of roundtable discussions, obviously online. And we're going to be talking about this message that there's a better way, better outcomes for medical cannabis patients. That's our jam. We're going to explain how we do it. We're going to have an opportunity to actually demo on the conference the product live. So I believe it costs like 99 British pounds to log in and join it. If you're a company, you want a better way to do things, get somebody sign up and spend that 99 British pounds to come and figure it out or watch it. It's our opportunity. Like I like to say, it's going to be for us with the big guys. It's going to be a bit of our debutante ball, right? It's an extreme great opportunity to say, there's a better way to do this. We've got the technology. It will save you money, not cost you money. And you'll always be doing the right thing, and that will grow sales. That will be our message. That's May 8th, starting May 18th this month.
And for our viewers, we'll be including that link inside our description. So feel free to click that and join. And if you're interested in joining that, to watch Brad and his presentation at Prohibition Partners event. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please like our video and subscribe to our channel to help us get more cutting-edge stock coverage to the market.